All set. And we'll call the meeting to order. Pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And before we start, I just want to acknowledge that Passover begins at sundown. So if we could, for our friends who observe, if we could try to move this one along, well, I don't think it'll take that long.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Public participation.
We have a member of the public here, for those of you who can't see. Karen Brecker, go ahead.
Oh, it's really nice to be here. I've been missing the meetings.
We miss you.
Yes.
I miss this. But anyway, I've been volunteering in the garden, and one of their sheds got destroyed this winter. So I went out and I got a quote to replace it, and I gave all the information to Jamie, so I think it's maybe this meeting or next meeting will be under purchase request.
Right, probably next meeting, which we could talk about a little bit, but I do have the info here, which I'll share with you when it's time to.
Okay, I have everything in writing.
Excellent.
If you want it.
Yeah,
So I can do that.
sure, thank you.
And the card of the person I dealt with.
Thank you.
And that's it.
Okay. All right. Approval of meeting minutes.
I second the approval of the meeting minutes. I did read them.
Okay. Everybody in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
On to election of the commission chair and vice chair.
Yep, so somebody needs to make a motion to elect a chair, and then we vote on that, and then same thing for a vice chair.
I make a
I'll-
motion to elect the chair.
Who would you like to elect?
Jeez. I don't know. I thought we had a couple of names to choose from, but we just,
It's completely up to the commission. I have no, it could be anybody in
Okay.
the commission.
Gail?
Do you want to withdraw your motion so you guys can discuss a little?
Yes.
Okay,
I'd like to make a motion for the chair.
okay,
I'd like to elect for Ed to be the chair.
okay, that's what you can hear. Can everybody hear at home okay?
Yes.
Okay, so there's a motion on the table to elect Ed Noivo as the chair of the commission. Now, if somebody wants to do that, you could second it.
I second it.
Okay, is there any discussion?
No. I was just worried with his traveling so much that he might not be at the meetings, but he could usually call in or Skype in or whatever.
Any other discussion?
No.
Yeah, that's the only reason if we don't mind, because I don't mind if it has to, come in from, from Zoom or anything like that. That's the only reason I didn't want to volunteer for I can't Zoom. But, that's the only other thing I wanted to mention.
All
I'm good
those in
with it.
favor? Any other discussion?
No.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I do I for myself.
Yeah, sure.
I myself.
Any opposed? All right, so Ed is now our chair. Congratulations. So
Thank
you
you.
need to make a motion. Now you are now running the meeting. Well, you're going through the agenda. So you now need to make a motion for the vice chair to cover on the days when you can't join us.
I make a motion to nominate Kathy as vice chair. Do you accept?
I do accept.
Okay, can we have a second, please? This is for Kathy for vice chair.
Second.
Kathy Sobieski.
I second.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, congratulations. So now Ed, you now will take over the agenda reading.
Okay, welcome.
Okay.
Staff report.
So, we were busy in March. I'm never gonna say we're not busy, so it's pretty much a given. We'll go through some of the garden and nutrition stuff later, but we brought in a new program, Mahjong, which is a card dice game. So we, but it's not an easy game to learn, so we brought in an instructor to teach lessons, and it's been really popular. So we have that, people are playing Mahjong as well. We had our typical, informational programs. We had one on downsizing and decluttering, easing the grip of bad habits. We had meditation, as we do oftentimes. We have a drop-in needlework class. Our evening program was a music bingo, which is a lot of fun. We did like golden oldies bingo, which I hosted, and it was great. We had classes on stress and disease. We had a day in the life of a blind person, which is very interesting. You got to kind of experience what it might be like to have visual impairments during the presentation. We had our ever popular AARP driver safety course. Another one's coming up in June. For fraud, we do fraud since unfortunately criminals like to stay one step ahead. We try to do fraud prevention programs often. So really busy month. Every program was well attended. We had a couple of iffy weather days, but it didn't really hurt anything. Yeah, so that's about it. Like I said, the specific things like nutrition and volunteer of the year, we'll talk about when we get to.
Okay, old business budget update, please.
Okay, so I will start through March 13th, which is the latest report we have from finance. Our balances are, and you have a copy of that, right? Okay, I'm not sure. Coffee shop, we have 16,048. Gift shop, we have 54,013. In our membership fund, we have 60,156. Our fitness room membership, 34,691. Donations balance is 66,780. Donations food balance, meals balance is 38,453. Again, I'll talk about that in a minute. Our interest account has just under $3,000, $29.99. And our nutrition grant fund has exactly $10,000 in it for a total of $283,030 in our various budget funds. In terms of the upcoming budget for the town, I appeared before the town council, and Ed was there as well on Saturday, the 21st, in the morning, and they actually skipped over us on CIP, which was interesting. I think it was an error. And then when I got up to actually describe our budget and ask for our funding, they went back to it and we talked about it. The town council is very supportive, as they have been for the past couple of years. So I don't anticipate there being any problems with our budget. I do know the town council has a very, very, very challenging budget ahead. So nothing is set in stone or guaranteed, but I think it went pretty well. And the town council's next step would be, they're still negotiating the budget. I believe there's still another public hearing to go. And they'll continue to make changes until they approve the final budget in about 2 weeks, and then we'll know.
Nutrition and program fundraiser.
Sure. Couple of things on nutrition before we get to fundraising. I mentioned the donation meals account has about $38,000 in it. We're actually spending less than anticipated, so we're in good shape. The reason why I forecasted out like how much we would spend it down each month to the end of the year, and we're well behind that forecast in a positive way. Like we haven't spent as much as we would have thought at this time of the year. I mentioned that at the last meeting, CRT has funding for the evening Meals on Wheels, which we have been funding for about 1.5 years now. So it's not permanent. It will run out at some point, but every month that they have the funding saves us $6,000 or $7,000. So it's a couple months into that now. So we have saved like a good chunk of money, which is great.
Yeah. A couple questions, if I may. A couple ideas for the nutrition program. My thought process is, obviously, we do the congregate meal, and we also do CRT. For congregate, how would we be able to shift the funds from the congregate to Meals on Wheels and concentrate on maybe getting some of the congregate meals that we normally get from CRT that we do our own here? I did some checking, and like certain foods, I know we can't cook.
Right.
And I know that it's required that you have to get certification to be able to cook. I did speak.
Yes and no, but okay, go ahead.
Okay, well, I spoke to, that's what Barb mentioned. I spoke to, Tony, in the kitchen, and Hawaiian Steve and myself. We're all willing to actually do the certification training. I did go, I was at Sam's Club yesterday, Sam's Club, Cisco, Restaurant Depot. They sell foods that already are prepared, but need to be put in an oven to cook.
Yeah.
They don't actually make them. And like, for instance, when CRT one day, they served us a soup and stuffed peppers. That comes from Restaurant Depot. And I checked, like, a big plate of lasagna, like about this big, was literally $14 for the whole thing that could serve a bunch of people. And we're spending $14 a pop getting it through them. So rather than utilizing the funds that we get from CRT for both the congregate and Meals on Wheels, giving that funding to Meals on Wheels, which is crucial, and us doing more in-house, that way we could budget better and we could provide better meals and for less money.
That's the entire project I've been working on for the past year and a half, is moving the whole kitchen project. So you hit the nail on the head there. That's exactly what we're hoping to do, depending on council and budget and CIP decisions. In order to do that, there's two pieces to this. And you probably heard me talk about this at the council meeting. There's the budget side where we need funding. We do need to make, our kitchen is in good shape, but it is not sufficient to prepare in-house meals other than heating up lasagna or whatever. Even that, we need to do a little work. If we're going to do that, there's two, operationally, we have the food license for that already. We can do it now if we have the equipment. We do have a serve safe trained person, but it would be appropriate to get more than one in the kitchen in case that person isn't there, right? So we need to do that. But more importantly, operationally, if we're gonna do that, we need to get a dishwasher. We need to get reusable plates, glasses, spoons, whatever, because it's much more environmentally friendly and cost effective. We need storage containers. We need a bigger refrigerator. There's a lot of things we need to do to be able to completely stop our reliance on CRT for congregate meals, right? And only fund them for Meals on Wheels, like you said. So I've been working on this for 18 months now. And so it's coming close. The piece that we need to make sure that we can move over to it is funding for it. We have grant funds for it. That $10,000 is sitting there. We're going to allocate to that. We'll see what the council's able to help us out with the budget with that. Even if the council's in a bad place and they're not able to fund it, we can still begin that project with some operating funds by doing things like heating up, we don't want to do frozen meals every day, but heating up food. So yeah, that's something that has been in the works. And if I haven't explained that to you clearly, I'm sorry, but that's something that's been in the works for a long time and will be in the near future.
Yeah, because I really think I made the conventional oven or microwave. I know I've been talking about that.
I've been working closely with facilities, with our building department, with our fire marshal. We've gone to other senior centers to see what works. So there's a lot of work going on behind the scenes. It'll be done.
Can I say?
Yeah.
I know it's not public participation, but I
We're
spoke
casual.
with Dr. Google, who's on the Fund for Giving, and there's a new name for it. I don't remember. And I explained to him what we'd like to do to help with the congregate lunch program. And he said that is totally something that they would like to fund. And the application begins in March.
Okay.
So I think I
You
got.
sent it to me, so I haven't had a chance to look at it yet, but I will, and I'll work with our grant writer. I've met Dr. Google before, I don't remember where, but I think they will be a good resource for us.
Yeah, he said, but that is something that they would like to fund. So.
Anything?
Who is he affiliated with? I didn't hear that part.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Who is he affiliated with? Like here.
Hartford Foundation.
Gives, like.
Yeah.
Hartford
Foundation. Well, I'll email it to you when I look it up. We did receive grant funding from Greater Hartford Foundation, but this is separate from that.
Yeah, he
So,
said
yeah.
they've given us money in the
It's-
past,
it's-
but not for this.
He, at one point, was part of Food Share, but I'm not sure if he is anymore or not, but we'll look.
That
Anything
part,
else?
thank you.
Okay, okay, so before we go to the fundraising part, as you know, we did implement a policy to for attendance for lunch to try to cut back on waste. We Barbara just wrote a couple things up. This is not it. Once we've been going for like 6 weeks or so, we can get you some numbers on who's following and who's not. But anecdotally, since we put the policy into place, there have been fewer no-shows, more people conscious of canceling ahead, and more careful consideration before making reservations. What we're gonna put into place in April now, as people are getting used to the policy, is the nutrition coordinator, or that's Barbara, will speak, or myself, will speak to those who have missed three or more meals. Before they get to the point of there being a suspension for missing meals. So we'll make sure, check in on them, make sure they understand the policy. This policy is not meant to be punitive, and it's not meant to kick people out of lunch because we want people to eat. It's simply meant to reduce waste. And also, if you are able to cancel meals without penalty, we won't count it against you as there's enough advance notice. So like on a CRT day, by 11:30 the day before, because that's when we call them the numbers for the next day, and non-CRT meals 48 hours in advance, because that's typically when we order the food. So we will not penalize people if they're able to cancel before their meal is ordered. So those are the things that are coming up for that.
To simplify it, can we just make it 48 hours for both? Because it will get confusing.
I mean, it's more lenient to let people cancel the day before for CRT meals if something comes up. I think, so far, we're flexible. We can just see what works and what.
You know what I'm saying? Because like some people say, oh, I didn't know this and this.
Yeah, but if you're sick like the day before, and you're like, I probably won't be feeling better by tomorrow. If Barbara and I can work that out. Again, the point is not to say, gotcha, you canceled 47 hours before, we're going to charge you for this meal. It's just to make sure that we're not wasting food. That's all. So that's, any questions on nutrition so far before we talk about fundraising?
Nope.
Okay. At the last meeting, Lillian had mentioned maybe wanting to do another fundraiser, which is always a good idea regardless of how we're looking money-wise, especially if we move into making our own meals. Does anybody have any ideas about what you might want to do?
Yes. Actually, I think what's your kids in the league?
Soccer?
Soccer?
Yeah.
Didn't the Portuguese club have bingo night?
On last Friday night, yes. And it
Yeah,
went very well.
I monitor these things all the time, so, and now I'm wondering if that would be an easy thing.
So yeah, I've done fun bingos in the past. Counselor Tiniakos was there Friday night, and I think Lillian was at last year's. Yeah, they're great. They're a lot of fun. We made about $3,000.
And I will tell you, now me and my friends, you can hear me. Can you hear me better? Okay, this way?
Yeah.
Okay. Me and my friends go literally around the state to different like purse bingos or different bingos like that are fundraisers, everything like that. And I don't think I've ever been to one that hasn't sold out. So if we wanted to do that instead of a dinner, I think that's also a good idea. It would be a little bit cheaper, like per ticket than it was with the dinner price, and I'm okay with that. I know people normally like bring their own like food, like in the Portuguese club allowed that, you can buy drinks there, but it allows you to bring your own food and snacks and everything like that. And we can still do the raffles there. I've also learned about the raffles is that they have these packs of raffle tickets where basically instead of you getting 50 numbers when you buy 50 tickets, you get one number and then you just keep the stub. So that way the raffles won't take as long as they did last year as well. So
that's really
I think a bingo and a raffle would be great.
Yeah, so to discuss what we could potentially earn, done the soccer club bingo a couple years in a row. This past Friday, we made just over $3,000, and it's a lot less work than doing like a dinner or whatever. Now, we actually had some bad luck with this one. We could have potentially made more. It was supposed to be on February 27th, but unfortunately, the Portuguese club had a water main break and a flood. So they ended up having to close for repairs. So we had to reschedule for March 27th, which was fine, except that unbeknownst to us, UConn is playing that night. So I think we lost some seats because of that, and we lost some walk-ins. With that being said, even with having about 30 fewer people than we did the year before, because of UConn, not because of anything else, we still netted over $3,000. And we have a lot of the things we need to do already. Like we have a bingo machine. We have people who are affiliated with the Portuguese club who could help with that. It was a cash bar. We charged $30 a ticket. It was a cash bar. But people brought their own pizzas, food, whatever. We had plenty of raffles. And it was a really fun night. We had a DJ. Wait, did we have DJ Kirk at our dinner? I'm getting my events confused.
We did have a DJ.
It wasn't DJ Kirk though. Yeah, I think we had Martha Shark.
Yes.
So, but we have, the fire department has a DJ, or no, they have a volunteer who is also a DJ on the side. And he does the bingos and he's, very adept at them. So it's definitely something that I know how to do really easily. And I'm sure like Lillian, you have a lot of experience with like that kind of stuff and party planning in general. So if this group would like to try to do a nighttime adult fun bingo, then let me know, like, what are you thinking, like summer, fall? It's a little too late to do one this spring, I think.
We could, my thought with the bingo thing, obviously with the economy, the Portuguese dinner thing was hard to sell people tickets for that, but with bingo, bingo people go.
Yeah.
As Lillian said, throughout the whole
Yeah.
state traveling for bingo, so I agree that's much easier, and I'm wondering if we can maybe even get Aldea to supply some appetizers for us. Work on that, and I could work with Rui or whatever.
The only thing I want to say about the Portuguese Club, and I love the Portuguese Club, but I did a bingo there with the Chamber of Commerce for the Portuguese Club, and the parking for a sold out event is not there. I know some people like turned around because there was literally no parking. I know people were worried, and I was like, there's no way everybody's going to get towed because they'd have to tow half the town. So I wasn't too concerned about that, but I think it turned away some potential people. I think something like the Polish Club in the center of town, or just I think a different venue than that if we're going to have like a full room. That's my only concern.
Well, we need to advertise parking better, because I know that across like the German club offers parking for the Portuguese club, so there is parking there.
So why don't we start by figuring out when we want to do this, summer, fall, whatever, and then we can see what venues are available on what date, and then we can start planning.
Okay.
What do you guys think?
I would say probably more into the early fall, only because summer, people are away and busy and, and things like that. So maybe after the kids go back into school.
Yeah, there was some vacation.
And maybe towards maybe end of September or something like that, or.
I also suggest September because you don't want to go too late because of the weather. But again, you don't want to go for the summer, and I want to give us some time so that me and Ed don't have to knock on doors and we can do it a different way for the raffle prizes. So I think September would give us plenty of time as well.
Okay, so what do you think? Like a Friday night, Saturday night, what afternoon, like a weekend afternoon? What do you think would be a good time?
The Friday or Saturday night. That's going to get you the most people.
I think the Friday night is really
Yeah.
better than Saturday.
Yeah, I would think a Friday night might be better.
Because Saturday people go away for the weekend, or Friday night you're going away yet.
Right.
I agree. Friday night. I like that.
So our staff will look at venues in the town that are available on Friday night in September, like after school starts, like mid-ish September, and we'll report back and we can start planning.
Perfect.
Make sense? Okay. All right.
We can save money too on the because I know DJs do it and everything like that. But if we got like some ball system or like, I can hook it up to a computer or stuff like that, I think we could run it too if we wanted to save even more money. But that's, again, just something we can think about closer to it as well.
We have all of the bingo supplies you might need, including the machine here. So, and we use like disposable bingo, the ones that you have the 10 games and you rip off the top. But those are very inexpensive, like a couple dollars. So, all right. All right. Then I will report back to you guys once we have some ideas. Okay. And that would be great. And that was easy.
And it would be good to advertise here at the senior center, because it is
Of
the
course.
last Tuesday of every month, there's bingo in the cafeteria.
There's bingo every Thursday, but the deaf senior club plays on Tuesdays, like one Tuesday.
You're recording on that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, yeah, so, okay.
Okay, are we done with the fundraiser?
Anything else for nutrition or anything, anything?
ARPA update?
Yes, so, we are in full swing now on the garden project if the rain holds off. Today we had a mason come by who does some work for the town and kind of just check out our ideas and stuff, make sure everything is good. We will be ordering supplies now that the ground is starting to dry out. We'll order the bricks and all that stuff, and we'll start to gather our volunteers who had already offered to help us when we first wanted to do this a year ago, and review our plans with the various town departments in hopes that we get going on that soon. As Karen mentioned, we have a couple of sheds out there, and we had a couple that are like temporary, I don't know what you call them, but they're like plastic, and they're like, almost like, not hard plastic, I'm failing at words, but, they were like, if you've ever started seeds outside, you have like a wire, like, house thing, and then you put plastic over it.
Right.
That's kind of what they were, but they're for storage. They did get destroyed over the winter. And especially with this project, there's going to be some more need for storage for the garden. So they did, Karen again got a quote on a permanent, very solid, higher end shed that will meet our needs better, meet their needs better. As part of, it's not part of the ARPA project, because unfortunately that's funding for the materials only for the project, but I will come back to you. It is a $4,100 shed, which is more than we have in our budget for that, but I'm working with Josie on where we could move things to get it. So I'll probably come back to you at the next meeting to ask for approval on that. But that just kind of goes with the garden project. So I will be keeping the garden volunteers and you guys all apprised of what's going on with the garden, but we are doing a ton of work to get that ready to go.
Jamie, I'm sorry.
Yes.
It included, I think, almost $500 for tax, and we would not. have
Oh,
to
yeah,
pay
I'm so
that.
sorry. I should have mentioned that. Yes, that it does include tax and we're not obviously, so it'll be less than that. And again, I support, I would support that. I just want to make sure we have funding for it, so.
Can I branch off of something about the garden club, because they do fabulous work.
Yeah.
I noticed like in the senior center, like they tore down the bushes, like in front of the generator, they tore down the tree in the front. But I believe, isn't that part of Parks and Rec to replace them, or?
They will not be replaced because that was part of our security study by the state, and they did recommend that we remove those. Which isn't to say that maybe this will be the year Parks can do a little bit of beautification out front. But so this is, I don't want to spend too much time explaining this. Parks has some duties to like mow the back, weed it, clean it up, but they're not responsible for maintaining the garden or doing any work in the garden.
Now, my thought also is because you have the garden club, what about not enlisting, but asking if some of the garden club people would like to help do around the complex, like you have even the flower box by the sign, plant some tulips there, plant tulips, whatever. If the garden club would want to get
We can see
involved
what
with
their
that.
availability
You
is for
wanna-
that.
Can you
I
present
mean,
that to
I
the
can
club?
talk to them, but they don't exactly have a lot of funds, especially if we buy a shed.
Right. So unfortunately, I will have to say, I think the garden's underfunded. It's something that we need to look at in the future, but certainly we can, beautification of the front yard, as we call it, is definitely Parks' responsibility. So we have a new Parks superintendent starting in the coming weeks, we can maybe get off on the right foot and get that done.
This is the busiest building in town.
Exactly.
so-
And it has kind of
And
the worst landscaping in town.
It looks kind of.
Sorry.
They do a good job. No, they do a good job they do a great job around town and maintaining our stuff. And if we have any problems, they're right there, but that's never really been on their, huge on the radar. And I'm sorry, Ed, not to step on your toes, but you can't see this. Lillian has her hand raised.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yes, still Lillian? Lillian?
My only question about that fee for the shed is, does that include somebody installing it? And if it does, can we save money if facilities installs it instead?
Let's see. Good question.
It will be, I can answer that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It will have a base and it will be all set up. The only thing that Parks and Rec would have to do is maybe even it out. and
Which
put
they
some
would do
crushed
anyway.
stone.
Yeah, they'll do that anyway. Yeah, it's a $99 fee for that, so, for delivery and setting it up. Okay, so to stay on the ARPA topic, so that's garden. You see behind you that our equipment, lending closet is done. The only reason we haven't announced it yet is because we just saw the busy tax season going on in here, and our tax volunteers may end up, tacking on some extra days, so I don't want to open it up if this room is in use. So you'll see information about that very soon. We're just putting the finishing touches on that, and this room will be more cleared out. There's not gonna be tables and chairs all over the place once we start. So there's that, and we will be doing some furniture shopping soon for the TV lounge, to get some more comfortable, accessible furniture in there. And hopefully, if anybody's listening from the Art League, we're gonna work with the Art League to get a mural done, in there as well, on that big plain wall there, across from the windows. So that's where we are. ARPA projects, they're all kind of moving along, but it's like all behind the scenes. It's hard to see what we're doing.
And our yearly talk about the door counters and security.
I don't have any security updates. There is in the potential CIP fund, I believe there was a request for another $100,000 security update, but that's shared between the library, police department for additional cameras. So I don't know how that'll go. If indeed it is funded, then we will look at maybe like the cafeteria or the auditorium, adding a couple of other cameras.
And upcoming activities.
So I usually pass out a newsletter and I did not today because there's a delay of the printer. So upcoming, it'll be ready. It's already online, but it's not the printer yet. It's not here yet. We have the next installment of our 4-week chair yoga classes coming up. Speaking of the garden, if you'd like to learn more about the garden, next Wednesday at 10, there's an informational meeting about how you might be able to join the garden, volunteer at the club, or, learn about the garden in general, which is great because we can always use volunteers. We have our intergenerational dance program with CCSU is coming back for another 4-week session as well. Plenty of spring craft classes. Our evening primetime Monday is a paint and sip. So we will have an instructor do a spring scene and we will sip, unfortunately not online, but on whatever we have, that's not wine, and have some snacks. We have the CCHD is coming for a drop-in health event for adults on Wednesday, the 15th. You can sign up for the walking challenge. You could check your vaccine needs, which you might be due for vaccines, what they recommend. There'll be healthy snacks. There'll be information about health in general there that you could take a look at. It's meant to be a friendly, like low stress kind of event. We're doing another meditation as we always do. The Tom Callanan Show. He is Connecticut's first official state troubadour. So he's a singer-songwriter who's going to come perform at the center on April 17th. Needlework classes, brain health, all of our things that, the people that are well attended. It also coming up, we have, our book sale is coming up April 24th through 26th. So we work with the library on that and we look forward to that every year. The school art show will be in our building April 30th through May 8th. And we already kind of talked about the garden project coming up and everything else. And of course, our volunteer, when we get to that, our volunteer dinner will be coming up in May as well.
Okay. Volunteer of the Year selection.
Okay, I'm going to pass. If you are joining us online right now, I just sent you an email with the same document that I'm about to pass out. Let's see here. So as you know, I'll be right back, people online. You're welcome. Okay. For the past 6 weeks or so, I can give you one, Karen. We have been collecting nominations for Volunteer of the Year. It is not a vote, whereas whoever gets the most nominations wins. It's staff recommendation, but it's the commission's final choice. Now, here's the tricky thing with this. We don't have a mechanism to go into executive session, like a private session to discuss this. Anybody who might be watching us right now can hear this. So when I do this, I'm going to refer to the number and not the person outside of our recommended winner, because I don't want anybody to get their feelings hurt, saying that they were nominated and not chosen. So if you look, our recommendation, which is your vote to choose, okay, if you want like this or like somebody else, is Steve Robin, or is it Robin or Robin? Hawaiian Steve. So you might know Hawaiian Steve if you come to the center, because he wears his Hawaiian shirts and he volunteers every day at lunch. You will see on your sheet some summary of the comments that were made on the nomination forms. But I'm not going to read them all verbatim, but he's always ready to help whenever he's needed. He anticipates where and when he could be more helpful. Every single comment was about positive attitude. He puts people in a great mood. He makes people feel important. He's always kind and helpful. He's funny. He interacts with everybody. He treats everybody with humor and respect. He has improved the lunch program and he co-hosts like the monthly themed lunches. He also, even though he's not as active with it now, he has delivered Meals on Wheels in the past. He helps out whatever we need in the senior center. He helps people out personally. If they need a ride somewhere or something, he does that. He embodies the spirit of volunteering. He's kind, resilient, desire to make a difference. He's an asset to the senior center by coming up with fun, exciting ideas. He's generous. He cares for people. He lends a hand in preparing the concrete lunch daily, keeps accurate registration records, assists in cleanup. He's willing to lend a hand in all aspects of the program. So he's really a fantastic volunteer. I would recommend, so our staff recommendation is to go with him for our volunteer of the year. You will see there's other ones on your form. They're all excellent volunteers, number 2, 3, 4, and 5. All great nominations, but the staff met, we reviewed everything, and we do feel that, that Steve kind of reaches that level of above and beyond, whereas he deserves recognition. You will notice there's 2 nominations from our 2024 winners, not honorees, so they were just honored 2 years ago, so I think we were gonna just, go with somebody who hasn't. Now, Steve is a member of the lunch volunteer, that's his main job, who we did honor in 2024, but at the time, he was not an active volunteer, so that's why he's on here. So that is after going through all of the nominations, that is our recommendation. I think he really embodies the spirit, if you read all the comments, of volunteerism and positive attitude and really building a community in the senior center, which is why the staff is recommending him. But it's up to you, so.
He really it's really, Steve is so humble, like, he wouldn't want anything in return, but he deserves it, I feel, because he's done all this. I've seen, and Kathy, you've seen what he's done. He's just a bright eye, and anytime you need help, he'll jump in, he'll give it to you. And I would go for candidate number 1. But
Me too.
That's Shalene.
Shalene, okay,
Yes.
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 Can we make a motion to accept Steve as the honoree for the volunteer of the year?
If somebody wants to second that?
I'll second it.
Any other discussion?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any conversation?
Done.
The motion has approved, Steve is our motion. I won't tell him anything.
No, you can be with us when we tell him though, but we will let him know soon.
Actually, I would like, when he comes in, well, when you wanna tell him?
We can talk to Barbara in the morning. How's that? We can
And then
figure it out.
Barbara and I and you could meet together,
That would be very
we
nice.
could tell him together.
So the volunteer for your dinner will be on Tuesday, the 19th at 5:30 PM. Where is he?
19th of,
Of what month?
May 19th. Now that we have an official volunteer of the year, the staff will put out the invitations in the coming week or so. We will start planning everything. The theme is, in the world, did I do this? I just had it written down. The theme, I believe, is it's a patriotic theme to go along with America's 250th celebration, but I had more specifics. I will share it out with you all, keep you all posted on that. I might have given somebody else my agenda with that note on it. Okay, so good, we will move along with that, so thank you.
the Star Spangled Banner volunteers.
Yeah, you got my agenda with the note on it, sorry, Star Spangled Volunteers is what we're going for a theme.
We have the singers?
We're trying, if we can get somebody to sing that night, we will.
Okay, perfect.
Well, can you get somebody from the high school, maybe?
We can try, it's hard, we've tried before, it's hard to get them outside of school, but I certainly, yes, we're trying a couple different places.
Building update.
Okay, we already talked quite a bit about the garden, so all I really have left are some minor things. There was a little roof repair down the end across from the wood shop from a leak that developed over the winter, but it is all set and there's no damage from it. It's sticky and hot in here. As you notice, in a couple of days, they'll be turning off the heat for the year and then switching over to air conditioning when it gets hot. Other than that, we're good to go.
Purchase requests, not yet.
Nothing today, but we'll be asking for a shed very soon.
Okay. And determine the next meeting date and agenda.
On our regular schedule, our next date would be Wednesday, May 6th.
May 6th, and I'll be attending from California on Zoom.
Okay,
So I cannot actually make the 6th. They have a work event, but I'm happy to do the minutes from the
Listen to the
recording. Will be fine.
Any public participation?
Yeah. I like the bingo idea. It seems a lot easier than the dinner. The dinner really took a lot of time away from staff and you guys.
Oh, God. Oh.
It was really tough, so, I think that's a good idea. And I have a question about the equipment.
Mhm.
Is everything marked?
It's in the process of being marked. Our intern is doing it right now. So, yeah.
Cause I just happen to know when, as a physical therapist, when equipment goes out, it never comes back.
Exactly. No, I know. Thank you for that.
And I know that you can order TheraBand and you can get advertising, put on it.
Oh,
So we
really?
could have the disabled center, maybe the next purchase.
They're probably in the drawers. I haven't actually checked today what the intern did with organizing them. We actually got bags, like little drawstring bags for the TheraBands and put Newington Senior and Disabled Center on them. So, but we could actually put them on the bands themselves next time we need them. That's a great idea.
And, the garden club is having their volunteer meeting and I'm actually making strawberry shortcake cupcakes.
Nice.
So there'll be food there, so we're hoping that will draw people.
Awesome.
I'll
be there.
And I will talk to them about maybe putting some perennials around the sign or.
Yeah, please just check with me first. I want to make sure we don't run into a union issue, but I have no problem with that. I think that would be great.
Okay,
Thank you.
that's it.
Any other public participation?
This is really weird.
Yeah, nobody's here. Go ahead. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll move to adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor?
I.
Any opposed to staying here? Want us to stay here all night?
No.
No?
Thank you,
We'll see you
everybody.
next month.
Good night.
Have a good night.